You're watching Kenosha Community Television.
Welcome to our show this afternoon. We are thrilled to have been collaborating up here in Kenosha for this Following the Ninth celebration. How many of you are aware of some of the other activities and events associated with it, including the actual performance this evening by the Kenosha Symphony Orchestra of Beethoven's Ninth? We'll be there tonight too. We were so excited to be invited to participate as part of this event. And we're an old-time radio theater reproduction group. RG Productions is our name. And when we were approached by Left of the Lake magazine and Kenosha Symphony, along with Kenosha TV, to participate in the day, we said yes right away, of course. And then when we went to do a little bit more research, we realized there really aren't a lot of old-time radio shows that feature Beethoven. So it was quite a challenge, but if you're familiar with the book that the whole Following the Ninth is based on, it's about the fact that Beethoven's Ninth Symphony is a brotherhood call to arms, and we were really drawn by that particular theme as well. So we knew we wanted to participate, and we did a little bit of research, and lo and behold, we came up with a story. So today's story was written by the composer Richard Wagner, the German composer, and his star was beginning to rise as Beethoven was nearing the end of his life, and he wrote the Ninth Symphony. It was his last works, and Wagner wrote this story, which was a pilgrimage to Beethoven because he was so influenced by Beethoven. And so he wrote this story, and he inserted himself into the story, and it concerns his pilgrimage to go see Beethoven because he didn't realize, as he was just starting out to be a musician, that you could actually go to visit Beethoven, that he was actually alive. So this is his story, and it's told through his eyes, but it very much ties in with the whole Following the Ninth, because when he goes to visit Beethoven, because it was near the end of his life, he's actually composing the Ninth. So we're very thrilled. What? Oh. And he was deaf. He's reminding me now. This is... Now, for those of you who are near and dear to me, you know that without my 2 hearing aids in, I'm near to deaf as well. So it had really special significance for me when my friend John Blonner, who's standing in the back, thank you, John, from Left of the Lake magazine, invited us, and I read about it. I thought, here's a composer who composed his most famous, arguably, but his most famous works when he was deaf. And here I am trying to do what I love and I'm passionate about, and I'm, very deaf too. So thank you, Doug. In any event, we would also like to thank Jason Rimkus from Channel 14 TV, Kenosha Community Media. So he's out here to film today, and this will be shown on their radio station and on YouTube. So we're very grateful for that. Thank you so much, Jason. And then I would like to leave you with this quote that was written in 1841 by Wagner. And he said, "I believe in God, Mozart, and Beethoven, and also in their disciples." So ladies and gentlemen, A Pilgrimage to Beethoven by RG Productions.
A middle-sized town of Middle Germany was my birthplace. I'm not quite certain what I was really intended for. I only remember that one night, when I heard, for the first time, a symphony of Beethoven's performed, it set me in a fever. I fell ill, and on my recovery, I had become a musician. I wanted to capture that credo, that passion. Beethoven, I could no longer live without him. Since then, I have loved and honored Beethoven above all else, and it occurred to me that Beethoven was still alive, living in Vienna. My colleagues asked me, why couldn't you go visit him? It had never occurred to me, it never struck me that Beethoven could exist, and thus I had to go see Beethoven. But the journey to Vienna was expensive. I needed some exceptional means of making money. And how would I find the wherewithal? How would I raise it? Think. I shall compose some music. A few pianoforte sonatas, which I had composed on the master's model, I carried to the publisher. Dear sir, I have some sonatas. Will you pay me for them?
Let's see them. Are you mad?
But what's the matter? You don't like them?
Young man, you don't know what the public wants, do you?
No.
Do you have any gallops?
No.
Then go straight on and write them. If you want to someday earn $1 or so by your compositions, bring me gallops.
I shuddered, but my yearning to see Beethoven gained the victory. I composed gallops and potpourri in no time. There, I was done. I'd finished. Why, I must have composed about 17 of them. That should do the trick. I finished, then.
Let's see. Not bad.
Will you pay me this time?
Yes, they're good. Let me know when your gallops catch on with the public.
Oh, yes. And one of them did catch on. I actually touched more music for them, and after 2 years, at last believe I had amassed enough to be able to execute my plan. Oh, joy! My goal was in sight. Saint Beethoven. Who happier than I? I strapped on my bundle and set out for Beethoven at once. Here we go. I'm walking. I am walking to meet Beethoven. Oh, what I had pictured, what I had dreamed. Here we go. I'm walking on my way to meet Beethoven. Everything around me reminds me of his genius. The trees, the sky, the birds, such splendor. And so, finally, I came to fair Bohemia, the land of harpists and wayside singers. In a small town, I found a troupe of strolling musicians who formed an orchestra. Tell me, where are you going, my dear brothers in tribulation? By any chance, does your singing bring you money? I am on my way to go visit Beethoven.
We are traveling musicians, and nothing brings us better joy.
Oh, God bless you. They had never heard of my gallops.
Good sir, we have not.
Oh, what good news for me. Do you play any other music beside dances?
To be sure, but only for ourselves, not for the gentle folk.
And so they unpacked their sheets, and I caught sight of the grand scepter of Beethoven. I say, do you play that too?
Yes, but our violinist, Joseph, has hurt his hand and can't play the second violin today, or we'd be delighted to give it at once.
Well then, I shall replace him. Oh, rapture. Oh, joy. Here on the slope of a Bohemian highway in open air, Beethoven's scepter, played by dance musicians with a purity, a precision, and a depth of feeling too seldom found among the highest virtuosi. Great Beethoven, we brought thee a worthy offering. Oh, Beethoven, how we honor you. We had just gotten to the finale when...
Whoa! Ah, you are traveling musicians playing Beethoven. How charming.
An English tourist, I believe. Well, my friends, I must be on my way again. Farewell.
Farewell, good luck.
Farewell. Oh, the incident had quite put us out, as the Englishman was very haughty. As I left my friends, it occurred to me that no one had picked up the Englishman's coin. Upon entering the nearest inn to fortify my body, I found the Englishman seated at an ample meal.
Oh, where are your colleagues?
They've gone on their way.
Oh, aren't you the young man I saw back on the side of the road?
It's possible.
Yes, you were playing Beethoven, weren't you?
Yes.
Well, just take out your violin and play something more. Here's some money.
Look here, I neither play for money nor do I have any violin. I had fallen in with these musicians on my way to Vienna.
Yes, they were good musicians, and the Symphony of Beethoven was very good too. Do you play music?
In my spare time.
Oh, I see.
Oh, well, you see nothing. Beethoven is my passion. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must be going.
Wait. We were just beginning to chat. I too am interested in Beethoven.
What did you say?
I too am interested in Beethoven, and on my way to meet him. I'd like him to take a look at some of my compositions.
Well, I do too.
Well, Where do you come from?
From Germany.
Oh, that's not so far. I've come from England.
Oh, well, I'd better be leaving.
But wait. We both will make his acquaintance. He's a very famous composer. We could travel together and chat about Beethoven along the way.
No, thank you. I must be on my way. Goodbye. Well, I'm on my way again. What a delight. Every step takes me closer to meeting Beethoven.
Hello!
What?
It's me again. This is a perplexing situation. A wheel of my carriage is broken, and I sent my servant for help.
Well, I'm glad.
Yeah, wait. The thing is, my servant doesn't speak German.
Well, is there anything I can do to help?
Yes, if it isn't too much trouble.
Oh, no, not at all. As soon as I reach the next village, I'll send the blacksmith back to help you.
Oh, you are so obliging. You know, I admire you.
Oh? Why?
Well, all this way on foot, even for Beethoven.
Yes, well, goodbye.
Whoa! Oh, well, I finally caught up with you.
What?
I
You
was
again?
worried about you.
Why?
Well, I was thinking, we're both going to see Beethoven. I'm going by carriage and you're going by foot. It occurred to me that riding is so much better than walking. Come, into my carriage.
No, I prefer to walk.
I don't understand you. Am I repulsive to you?
No, not at all. But I vow I must pursue my pilgrimage on foot.
What? I've spent hours coming back just for you. Come, ride with me in my carriage.
Please, leave me alone. I prefer to walk, and that is what I shall do.
No, come. Ride with me in my carriage.
No.
Well, is it because I am an amateur musician?
No, not at all. It has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that you are also a musician. Now, good day.
Whoa!
Oh, my God, it's you. What's the matter now?
No, nothing. I just really hate to resign myself to your walking. Well, the weather's terrible. You'll probably suffer.
No, I am quite comfortable.
Your loyalty is misplaced, man.
I have already told you, no.
Very well. I shall arrive in Vienna before you.
Well, so much for that.
That means I shall see Beethoven before you.
I do not think that...
Go, drive on, coachman.
Yes, here I am at last, in Vienna. Vienna, the city where my guiding spirit, my revered composer, lives, composes, and triumphs. I am within the walls that circle Beethoven. And here I am, at last, at the very house where he resides. I knocked on his door.
What?
Excuse me, is Herr Beethoven at home, please?
No.
Do you know when he'll be back?
I don't know.
Then may I leave a note?
No.
What a reception. Well, that's all right. I shall be more insistent later. Excuse me? Might Beethoven be available this afternoon?
No.
Do you think he'll be home this evening?
No.
Well, thank you. Well, I shall try later. Thank you. Sorry to have disturbed you. I hope that...
No.
But you see,
No.
Well, I'm a composer, and
No.
I have these, but I wanted to ask, but Herr Beethoven...
No.
I'm sorry, but if you'd only...
No.
You see, it's very important.
No.
But if I could only...
No.
Just a few minutes of it, if I was...
No.
Oh, but won't you... Please. Herr Beethoven?
Not here.
Would you at least take down my name?
Useless.
I am Richard Wagner from Germany.
Hello!
Oh, my God, it's you.
I'd wanted to surprise you, but I had trouble finding your inn.
My inn?
Well, as for me, I have rooms at the Grand Hotel.
Oh, well, good for you.
Well, wait. Have you seen him?
Not yet. He's always out.
Listen, I fear it may be a tactic.
Oh? Why?
I believe he's a very peculiar person, full of vagaries. Well, that's why these old famous people are.
Look here. Beethoven cannot be compared to any other personage. But tell me, good sir, how did you manage to find me?
Well, there are not so many hotels around Herr Beethoven's residence. Oh, but wait. I do not perceive that you are using the proper tactic.
Keep your mind on your own business.
But this is very much my own business, if only because...
I told you, mind your business.
The mutual admiration that unites us with Beethoven.
Well, how about you then? Have you seen him?
No, I haven't. Also turned away.
Oh, I don't understand this.
Have a bit to eat?
No, thank you.
Why do you always refuse? Are you so very intent on your mission that you cannot stop to reconstitute?
No, I just rather not.
What the devil? Why? Why?
I don't know.
Oh, well, I shall make a confession to you.
Oh, no, please,
I'll
don't.
tell you what I think. I believe he is simply refusing to see us.
Are you saying he was at home when we knocked?
Yes, Herr Wagner.
What? And he refuses to see me? No, I cannot accept this version of events. I'm a promising young musician and cannot fail to appeal to him.
Are you saying that I might feel to appeal to him?
Oh dear, you're wandering from the subject.
All I know is that I must meet Beethoven.
But I too must meet him. I have sacrificed everything for him for years. I even wrote gallops.
I could have gone to Paris or Venice, but I came here to Vienna for him.
What's wrong with you? You seem to be setting yourself up as a competitor to me.
Me?
Or worse, as an equal. Well, now, I must rest before I resume my siege on Beethoven.
Well, I shall come with you.
No!
Yes, I shall!
Dear, what's the matter with me? I'm driving myself mad. I seem to have lost that pest for now.
Well, would you care to the tavern for an evening of drink?
Oh, no, thank you.
Please, my treat.
Your treat? That's typical. No, leave me. Go to the city for the evening.
What? And enjoy myself alone?
We have nothing in common, don't you understand?
Well, of course. We're always having violent arguments.
I'm saying this with good reason. I've spent nearly all of my money, and I won't be able to stay here forever.
I'm very sorry.
It's not as if my gallops turned me millions, not even the one that was, well, somewhat successful.
Oh, well, perhaps I know it. Can I hear it?
No.
Oh, please, I'm so very fond of gallops. Oh, wait, could it be this one?
Wait, how did you know it?
Oh, it's one of the most romantic pieces circulating in England.
Oh, how shameful. Shameful.
Oh, no, you seem to not understand. It was the fame of that gallop that enabled you to make the journey to Vienna.
You don't understand. I came all the way here only to see Beethoven, and he does not want to see me.
Oh, come. He may be a genius, all right, but a man not fit for the pulpit you put him on.
I'm nearly out of money and soon shall have to fast.
Ah, well, then I have an idea. To help you relax, we shall go to the city, and you can get yourself something to eat.
No, I shall stay here. I shall fast. And in the end, I shall meet Beethoven.
You'll fast?
Beethoven is my nourishment.
Ugh. What melodramatic sentimentalism. Oh, I shall go to the city by myself then. Oh.
Sir,
Yes?
excuse me for disturbing your reflections. I am the innkeeper who watches very discreetly, and I have heard everything.
Oh.
I think you should stop associating with the Englishmen.
Whatever do you mean?
Beethoven's reclusiveness may seem excessive, but there is a very simple reason for it. He hates Englishmen.
Oh.
And you, sir, are always in the company of the Englishmen, so he will never see you.
Oh.
You see, Quite a number of Englishmen come here to lie in wait for Herr von Beethoven.
But what does he have against Englishmen?
This annoys Herr Beethoven very much, and he is so enraged by the push of these gentry that he made it clean impossible for any stranger to gain admittance to him. He's a singular gentleman, and one must forgive him.
Oh, so I have absolutely no chance of meeting Beethoven. I cannot reach my goal because I have been taken for an Englishman. How can this misunderstanding be cleared up?
Oh, but it is very good business for my inn, which is generally packed with English, whom the difficulty of getting a word with Herr Beethoven compels to be my guests for longer than they otherwise would.
Then I shall quit your inn, since I'm certain that everyone who lodges here is considered an Englishman at Beethoven's house. I am not. I am from Germany, and I must see my hero.
However, as you promise not to scare away my customers, I hope to find a means of smuggling you to Herr Beethoven. I am on good terms with Herr Beethoven's servant, and there may be a place where you can approach him and speak to him.
Oh, yes? Well, tell me where.
I've been too tolerant up to now. I will come to see you when I have more information. There may be a place where you can approach him.
Yes, I shall go.
But you must never tell him that I am the one who revealed the information to you.
Oh, no, I won't. You can count on me. I, too, have been too tolerant up until now. Oh, the Englishman and his pompous ways were preventing me from seeing the only man on earth whose consideration matters to me. There will be no reconsideration. Henceforth, I shall flee from him like the plague. Ah, 12 days I've been waiting. 12 days and nothing has happened. Oh, let me see. How much do I have left? 12, 14, 16, 20, 23. 23 pounds. With that, I'll soon be in the poorhouse. What can be done? Come in.
Oh, quick, shut the door. I think he was following me.
You must understand the revenue from my gallops is visibly dwindling. I'm not sure how much longer I can stay waiting to see Beethoven.
Wait, I have to catch my breath. Oh, Herr Beethoven is a very suspicious man, but I did succeed in getting you what you wanted.
Oh, well, tell me quickly.
Listen carefully. You cannot possibly miss Herr Beethoven if you go to a certain beer garden which the composer is in the habit of visiting almost every day at the same hour.
Where? Where?
You cannot miss him. He will be dressed with a long brown overcoat. His favorite place is under the arbor. He talks to no one and keeps to himself.
Yes, I shall go there right away.
No, he goes between 4 and 6 p.m.
Oh, will 4 o'clock never come? I'm exalted and cannot wait to see him. Thank you. I'm on my way, and not leaving anything to chance, taking the back route to the beer garden.
Whoa! Where are you going?
Oh, no, not you again.
Yes, me.
Will you please get away from me? You've sacrificed me only for your own ambition.
What? What are you talking about? Oh, wait. I've noticed that you every day go to a certain time at this beer garden. I'm guessing you have figured some way to see Beethoven, so I followed you.
Whatever do you mean? I'm only going to refresh myself in a common beer garden. One very, well, far too unfashionable to be frequented by gentlemen such as you or Beethoven's quality.
I don't believe you.
Now, just go away. You have no business following me. I refuse to let you ruin everything for me.
I also intend to see Beethoven, and nothing else troubles me.
Oh, Lord, please, this is a public place, and I don't want you to make a spectacle of us.
Oh, look, over there. Look. Yes, this gentleman, it's Beethoven. Come. Let us present ourselves to him at once.
What are you doing? No. Do you want to compromise us here in this place so entirely without regard for manners?
Oh, it's a capital opportunity. We shall not easily find better.
Wait, are you mad? Where are you going?
I shall have the honor to present myself to the much renowned composer and very estimable gentleman, Herr Beethoven.
No, wait, stop.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to prevent you from ruining everything, you scoundrel.
Leave me alone. One of us has enough courage to do it, and it shall be I.
Now look what you've done. He's run away, you impotent fool. You drove him away.
Look at what you've done. You've torn my tailcoat.
Oh, never mind.
Give me back my tailcoat.
You frightened him away. I've had enough of you.
As I have with you.
We will never see Beethoven, the most important composer of this century, ever again in all your life. Now, leave me, you wretch. We have nothing in common.
Well, it's just something that I feel.
Well, then, feel it by yourself.
You are to blame for Beethoven's behavior to me. You ripped my coattail, and I am sure Beethoven would have nothing to do with a gentleman wearing only one coattail.
Me? You're blaming me? What was supposed to be the most wonderful moment of my life has been changed into a travesty.
Give me back my coattail!
Here. May you keep it as a shameful memento of how you insulted the great Beethoven and hurled a poor musician to his doom. Now, farewell. May we never meet again.
Well, farewell. I hope you accept your future obscurity.
I'll leave, but not before I tell you what I really think of you. You are a clinging amateur. There's nothing worse in music.
Oh, and for you, Herr Wagner, Beethoven will never pay you the slightest bit of attention.
You are wrong. I shall send a letter directly to Beethoven himself, and he will understand. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So at last, I decided to pour out my heart upon paper. And this I did. I wrote, briefly narrating the history of my life, how I had become a musician, how I worshipped him, how I once had come by the wish to know him in person, how I had spent 2 years in making a name as Gallup composer, how I had begun and ended my pilgrimage, what sufferings the Englishman had brought upon me, and what a terrible plight my present condition was. As my heart grew sensibly lighter with this recitation of my woes, the comfortable feeling led me to a certain tone of familiarity. I wove into my letter quite frank and fairly strong reproaches of the master's unjust treatment of my wretched self. Finally, I closed the letter in genuine inspiration. Sparks flew before my eyes when I wrote the address. An Herr Ludwig van Beethoven. I only stayed to breathe a silent prayer and...
Hello.
Here, take this letter across the street to Herr Beethoven, quickly.
Hello!
I told you, stay away from me.
I know. You're right. I'm so ashamed. I said to myself I absolutely must go to him. By the way, did you deliver your letter to Beethoven?
One more word from you and I'll throw you down the stairs.
Well, I understand, but I'd appreciate knowing what Beethoven said when he replied.
Get out of my room, you pest, be gone, go, go.
So cruel.
Because I must be. Now, I have to wait for a positive reply from Herr Beethoven, which I'm sure I will receive shortly. I'll go acquaint myself with the music of which I have heard nothing so far. Ah, lovely Vienna, at last I can enjoy you. Your merry ways delight me. Everything is warm and filled with life. Look, they're performing an opera written by Beethoven. I shall go. How can I describe, how can I tell you what took place inside, around me that night? I came to realize that through his music, as he struggles, he sets an example for me. I must persevere. Here before me in all celestial totality, Beethoven. Beethoven, you alone are my master.
Herr Wagner, a letter has arrived from across the street.
Ah, thank you. Herr Wagner, please excuse me if I beg you not to call on me until tomorrow morning, as I am busy preparing a packet of music for the post today. If you would be so kind as to come around and visit me tomorrow afternoon, I shall be happy to receive you. Until then, I remain yours truly, Beethoven. Oh, I have succeeded. I have succeeded. Beethoven, thank you. Thank you. My life is finally beginning. Oh, exaltation. My master has agreed to see me. The venerable day will come at last tomorrow. So much to offer, and tomorrow I shall see my master, and I must be worthy of him. I could not sleep last night. What I had just experienced and what was in store for me the next day were too great and overpowering for me to calmly weave into a dream. I lay awake, building castles in the air and preparing myself for Beethoven's presence. At last, the new day dawned. Impatiently, I waited until the seemly hour for a morning visit. It struck, and I set forth. The weightiest event of my life stood before me. I trembled at the thought. However, I had yet one more fearful trial to pass through.
You are going out. Where are you going so joyfully?
I'm going for a stroll.
I'll come with you.
You stay away from me.
Oh, come on, let us introduce ourselves to Beethoven.
What are you doing? I have been invited to see Beethoven, not you. Now, I am begging you, please, just leave me alone.
No, I have no intention of leaving you until we've both returned from Beethoven.
Go away, leave me alone.
You can't escape me. I too have a right to see Beethoven.
No,
Yes,
you
I
don't.
Do, absolutely. You
No,
will take
you,
me. I will go with you.
fiend, leave me. Go away.
Go away.
But wait, don't shut me out. I am Richard Wagner, an amateur composer, and Herr Beethoven has invited me here himself.
He does not like to see any amateur musicians.
Who's there?
Oh, Herr Beethoven, it is Richard
Please write,
Wagner.
I cannot hear.
Oh, distraught and scarcely knowing what I was doing, I wrote down an apology with a brief account of the circumstances that had made me appear in the Englishman's company.
And what do you want?
I have the
I don't understand you. I cannot hear. Nor can I speak much. Please, write down what you want of me.
Very good, very good. You write.
Oh, all right, I will. Herr Beethoven, I am a young musician. I have come all the way from Germany to visit you and pay honor to you, but this wretched Englishman here...
I beg Herr Beethoven to look through my composition. If any passage does not please him, will he have the kindness to set a cross against it?
What?
Oh, he's bothering me with this wretched business.
Can't you see, you fool? He cannot hear you.
Herr Beethoven, I am the one who invited Herr Wagner to travel with me to see you. And ever since I've set eyes upon him, he has been cruel.
Why?
Oh, stop
What?
raving, you fool.
What?
You're a fraud as well as a liar.
I must stand up for myself as another amateur musician. I would like you to look at my compositions, and I ask you.
Stop it.
Oh, just give me the pencil.
No.
I cannot listen to both of you at the same time.
Herr Beethoven,
Get your
I
own
would
pencil.
like you to look at my composition and give me any thoughts or ideas you may have, and for that I would be extremely grateful. There.
You madman. I can't believe you would ask him to look at your music as if it were even good enough for the master lay his eyes upon it.
Oh, shut up.
Stop! You can rest assured that I shall attend to your composition with all the necessary attention. Thank you.
And, sir, if you feel like any portion needs any certain attention, would you please...
Please stop. Can't you be happy with what he said? How can you ask for more?
And there. Thank you, Herr Beethoven.
Stop. The correction shall be made.
There's the door. Now disappear. Disappear.
Goodbye, sir.
Oh, how could you act like this? Have you no shame?
Now we're alone. I get the feeling there's some tension between the two of you. Some petty professional rivalry. So you wrote that you wanted to know me. You tell me that my compositions have changed your life. If that were only true.
Oh, but it is true.
What?
Your symphonies are so inspiring. The number of your admirers has grown to immense size. In every town, your music is played at the concert hall of the city. Your audiences are appreciative.
Yeah, I'm glad of that. For nowadays I can little count on the Viennese to enjoy my music. Soon it shall be banned.
I certainly am not the only one imbued with such glowing enthusiasm for every creation of yours. I would love to bring you to my father town so you could see the effect your work produces on the entire public there.
I can quite believe that. My compositions find more favor in northern Germany. The Viennese annoy me often. They hear too much bad stuff each day ever to be disposed to take an earnest thing in earnest.
But last night I heard and saw Fidelio. And the Viennese public, well, they greeted it with much demonstrative enthusiasm.
Fidelio. But I know the little mites are clapping their hands day to day to pure conceit, for they fancy that in advising this opera, I merely followed their own advice. So they want to pay me for my trouble and cry bravo. They think they are collaborating with me. Ah, well, who cares about the flaws of my Viennese? So, you really like Fidelio?
Yes, it's a masterpiece, sir.
Irksome work. I am no opera composer. At least I know no theater in the world for which I should care to write another opera.
Oh, that's not true, I swear
Well,
it.
I to make an opera after my own heart, everyone would run away from it. For it would have none of your arias and duets, trios, and all the stuff they patch up operas with today. And what I should set in their place, no singer would sing, and no audience listen to. In any case, the opera I wish to write does not exist. It is a different one, new.
What do you mean?
They all know nothing but gaudy lies, glittering nonsense, and sugared tedium. Whoever wrote a true musical drama, such as I wish to do, would be taken for a fool. And so indeed he would be if he didn't keep such a thing to himself, but wanted to set it before these people.
Oh, Master, please enlighten me. How must one go to work to bring such a musical drama about?
As Shakespeare did when he wrote his plays. He who has to stitch together the human passion. No more pretty things for ladies with passable voices to get bravi and hand claps. Had better become a Parisian lady's tailor, not a dramatic composer. For my part, I never was made for such falalalas, monuments of platitude. Oh, I know quite well that the clever ones say I am good enough at instrumental music, but should never be at home in vocal. They are perfectly right, since vocal music for them means nothing but operatic music. And from being at home in that nonsense, preserve me heaven.
Do you really believe that anyone, after hearing your Adelaide, would dare to deny that you are have a most brilliant calling as a vocal composer too?
Adelaide and likes are but trifles after all, and come seasonably enough to professional virtuosi as a fresh opportunity for letting off their fireworks. But why should not vocal music, as much as instrumental, form a grand and serious genre? And its execution meet with as much respect from the feather-brained warblers as I demand from an orchestra for one of my symphonies. The human voice is not to be gainsaid. Nay, it is a far more beautiful and nobler organ of tone than any instrument in the orchestra. Could not one employ it with just the same freedom as these? What entirely new results one would gain from such a procedure! For the very character that naturally distinguishes the voice of man from the mechanical instrument would have to be given a special prominence. And that would lead to the most manifold combinations. The instruments represent the rudimentary organs of creation and nature. What they express can never be clearly defined or put into words, for they reproduce the primitive feelings themselves. Those feelings which issued from the chaos of the great first creation, when maybe there was not yet one human being to take them up into his heart. It is quite otherwise with the genius of the human voice. That represents the heart of man and its sharp-cut individual emotion. Its character is consequently restricted but definite and clear. Now, let us bring these two elements together and unite them. Let us see the wild, unfettered elemental feelings represented by the instruments in contact with the clear and definite emotion of the human heart, as represented by the voice of man. The voice will calm and smooth the conflict of those primal feelings, will give their waves a definite, united course, whilst the human heart itself, taking up into it those primordial feelings, will be immeasurably reinforced and widened, equipped to feel with perfect clearness its earlier and definite presage of the highest, transformed thereby to godlike circumstances. To be sure, in the attempt to solve this problem, one lights on many an obstacle. To let men sing, one must give them words, yet who could frame in words that poesy which needs must form the basis of such a union of all the elements? The poem must necessarily limp behind, for words are organs all too weak for such a task. You soon will make acquaintance with a new composition of mine, which will remind you of what I have just touched on. It is a symphony with choruses. I will ask you to observe how hard I found it to get over the incompetence of poetry, to render thorough aid. At last, I decided upon using Schiller's beautiful hymn, an ode to joy. In any case, it is a noble and inspiring poem, but far from speaking that which, certainly in this connection, no verses in the world could say. Excuse me, I think I've allowed myself to get a little carried away by my obsession. What do you think? So very insane?
No, miraculous.
What?
What can I possibly say to you? Mere trivialities, cliches. Thanks to you. From now on, I shall dare to express myself.
What? Right.
Nothing that I ever do, if I ever do anything again, will ever be indifferent. Thanks to you.
I hope you will defend me when my new work is discussed. I will be ripped to pieces when my work is heard. My ode to joy will be rejected by the public.
No, I'm certain of the contrary. I believe that it will be the only thing people will want to perform, the only thing people will sing.
But perhaps you see, Herr Ricard, that I am not quite a madman yet, though unhappy enough to make me one. People want me to write according to their ideas of what is good and beautiful. They never reflect that I, a poor deaf man, must have my own ideas. I'm in my own prison, and it would be impossible for me to write otherwise than I feel except through music. And that I cannot think and feel their beautiful affairs is just what makes out my misfortune. You understand?
Master, I want to swear a solemn oath to you.
I beg your pardon, what?
I swear to you that I shall never compose another gallop for the rest of my life.
Yes, your gallops. So why be so ashamed of committing a few of those? Don't you think if I had been capable of writing a few gallops in my life, I would be in better circumstances than I find myself in today?
Your circumstances could not be better.
In any case, to each his fame. Thank you, Herr Wagner. Think of me from time to time. And here, I was forgetting your friend's work.
He's not my friend.
Just 1 minute. I'll inspect this very quickly. There, the corrections have been made. Kindly give the happy man his masterwork. Tell him he's not entirely devoid of gifts. I envy him his huge ears. Farewell, Herr Wagner, and create well.
Farewell, Master. Here is your composition.
Oh, I see. X's everywhere. I haven't spared nothing. Are you jubilated?
What do you mean?
The two of you are playing a prank on me, is that it?
No, I don't understand you.
Yes, I'm sure the two of you found it very amusing at my expense.
No.
Why have you bothered with me? All I am is a miserable Englishman.
Stop. You're raging again.
Oh, keep these scores as they brought you such amusement between you and the master. I give them to you. Oh, in any case, a real composer must learn to face adversity. Naturally, you're quite careful enough not to share any of your work with him.
Oh, you weary me. I've had enough of these arguments with you. I came here to see Beethoven, and now I have seen him. So, goodbye.
Yes, that's right. Goodbye.
Now, come along. It's not as bad as you say. Why did you give him your scores to read if you were afraid of what he might say?
Oh, stop. I'm not going to listen to you anymore. I'd pinned my ambitions in hopes on those scores. Oh.
Stop tormenting yourself. Now come, we shall go refresh ourselves.
No.
Are you really angry with me? I told you I had nothing to do with it. Come now, give me your scores. I shall read them. I'm certain in the end they will appeal to me.
No, I only know all too well that you two would be prejudiced against me. After all, I shall make a little trip elsewhere. To Italy.
Italy? Why Italy?
I wish to know Mr. Rossini, as he used to be a very famous composer.
You go there because of Rossini?
Yes, in Italy, Rossini is more well known than Beethoven, and I shall show him my composition, and I'm sure he will like it, and I'm certain to be appreciated at last.
Oh dear, you're such a child.
No, I'm not. I'm merely in search of approval. Oh, what a victory it shall be for me because of Rossini. My social and artistic success will be established definitively. Oh, Won't you accompany me?
No, no, thank you. But good luck. I hope that with Rossini or with someone else, you will find happiness. I know Beethoven, and that's enough for my lifetime.
Oh, yes, I shall find joy and fame with Rossini, and I have no doubt you will surpass Beethoven, for he is at the end of his rope.
Oh, but what a wonderful rope. And so, at last, we parted, and I cast one long glance back at Beethoven's house, and then I turned to the north, uplifted in heart and ennobled.
You've just listened to Pilgrimage to Beethoven from RG Productions. Starring Bill Yeager as Wagner, Ed Godula as the Englishman, Doug Despin as Beethoven himself, and Jay Rattle as the innkeeper. Thank you to Candy Helson and Jim Kolar on sound effects. Thank you to Rick and Jeff for our sound engineers. Thank you for coming out. We hope you enjoyed it.
Did you know that there are currently 513,000 American children in foster care? Like all children, youth in foster care can significantly benefit from a positive, healthy relationship with a caring adult. You can be that mentor to make a difference in a child's life. Please contact Community Impact Programs at 262-656-8420 for more information about becoming a foster parent today.